Neal, we are live for McCready and Siskey. This is actually, I think, like episode 179. We've been racking them up here. On where in the world is Neal McCready? Hey, this just to remind everybody, this trip, this everybody gotta get a little round of applause. Let's get a little round of applause for our guys. Let's go with I gotta find it here. I think I lost it. We'll just do. Oh, there it is. It had to come up. I had to all of our friends at Comer Heat and Air. Eric's the best. Just taking care of everybody. So if you need your heating, your air taken care of, it's hot as hell today. If you're down south, how's the temperature up there in Chicago, Neal?
I almost hate to say it because I've this has just been I've been blessed so far. It's like 70 degrees. There's not a cloud in the sky. It's an absolute beautiful day. There's no humidity. It's literally kind of perfect.
Well,
I think
it's
the high
hot.
today here is 75
It,
75
it
degrees. By the way, if you Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating, if you live in Oxford, Batesville, Tupelo, those areas, get in touch with Eric and the people at Comer. It's 662-801-1777. If you live in Memphis, Hernando, South Haven, Olive Branch, those areas, get in touch with the people at Southern Air Conditioning and Heating. It's 662-429-4429. Same great product, same great people, same great services. They'll take terrific care of you. And look, it's Memorial Day weekend on its way, which means that June is right around the corner, which you know what that means in where we live. It's going to get really hot. If the AC is acting funny now, now's the time to call. But the great thing about Comer, and I can tell you this from personal experience, we've had air conditioners like to go out when you least need them to go out. We had our first. We have two ACs in our house. The first one went out the day of Campbell's high school graduation. I called Eric and was like, "Hey, I know this is like really late notice. I can't even meet you here. Can you just?" They handled it. He sent me a text. Was like, "Hey, it's gone." I said, "Replace it. Just do it." And then the second one, we did the deal where he was like, "Hey, let's put some Freon in it. This might get you through the summer." And then he said, "But it might not get you through 24 hours." Well, it didn't. He did that on like July the 2nd. On July the 4th, that morning, we woke up and the upstairs unit was dead. They came out on July the 4th and replaced the system. That's the kind of service that you get at Comer. They're fantastic. They'll take great care of you. Southern's the same way. So appreciate them sponsoring this trip. Eric sent me a text last night checking on me. It's been a lot of fun, and they made it possible.
Hey, before we get started, Neal, we got the super chats coming in hot on this trip, man. Webb Moore coming in with a 49.99 super chat. He says, "Lunch on me, Neal. You have got the last laugh on this bet, big time. You need to have the same bet next year, but have Tyler travel. Your logistics have been spot on, Webb." Yeah, spot on, Webb. Appreciate you, Webb. That's awesome. Yeah, I've
Thank
been
you,
a
Webb.
little, I've been a little bamboozled on this one a little bit. This all started. You missed this because you were traveling. So I did, Blue Sky Live with Chase the other day while you were in the air, and Chase
Yeah.
Chase seems to think there should be some kind of like punishment slash penalty for being upgraded to first class. Going, he said that's kind of now we're starting to skim the
There were
rules.
no rules.
Chase,
There
there.
were
Hey,
no
look,
rules.
it's kind of like tampering, right?
There was no.
It's kind of like
Yeah. There
tampering.
was there was no rule about upgrades. I didn't request or solicit the upgrade. My good friend Marshall, he sent me a text and simply said, "Are you flying United?" I was flying United. You booked United. I didn't book United. You booked United. And I
I
said,
did.
"I am." And he said, "Hang tight." And a little bit later, I had an upgrade. So look, there was no rule about you can't fly first class. You can't accept an upgrade. You can't do this. You can't. I have done nothing that violated any rules. The rules were I had to go to North Pole, Alaska, and I went. And I had to start navigating my way back. and that's what I'm doing. And it just so happens that there's a Major League Baseball game at Wrigley Field tonight. Listen, it just that was I didn't make the schedule. I did not schedule Major League
Oh,
Baseball. Major League Baseball scheduled Major League Baseball. I didn't have the express written consent of Major League Baseball to do that, and so it just happened to fall this way. I didn't draw up the weather here in Chicago today. I didn't make it an absolute Chamber of Commerce day. It That's Mother Nature. So I mean, everyone's accusing me of all these things. I've done nothing wrong.
oh, yeah. I mean, you got me. However, you've got me, but I'm holding on to my last hope here because at the end of the day, you're in
I was going to
Chicago.
say
You're in
there's
Chicago, Illinois,
there's
okay?
still travel.
And you got to
Yeah.
find your way back to Oxford or Tupelo by a train and a bus. Okay, so that's
Yes.
a long
Yes.
ass way to travel on a train and a
Yeah.
bus. So I thought the punishment started last night. So let's talk about it. All right, the last time we left you, McCready and Siskey After Dark Part Two. That was last night, which is becoming a hit, by the way. People are loving the After Darks. I don't know if
Yeah.
we could have, and that's why I want people to know this. That is completely random. I had no idea, and neither did you. We had no idea about the quality of guests that we were going to have while we were there. And
No.
the whole Johnny thing from night one was a beaut. So much so, like I said last night, that I showed my older kids that whole segment. I don't think I've ever seen my kids laugh as hard. They were actually brought tears to their eyes. And to give the fans a little back deal, since I don't have I'm on my computer running software through my computer at my house instead of being in the studio, obviously at Neal's house. I don't have the ticker. Chase was trying to explain it to me. I don't have the countdown. So when we go live, like Neal comes in, we talk for a minute or two about just whatever, and then we go live. As soon as you came into the pre-show yesterday, this guy was going off the chain, man. And I was like, we couldn't get the guy to shut
So
up. I
so
was like, we got to start at 10 o'clock. This guy was not stopping.
so let me give you some background on that. So I got to the airport probably earlier than I meant to, and it's not a big airport in Fairbanks. And so, in my mind, I'm preparing for, hey, it's going to take 45 minutes to get through security and
Yeah.
all that. Well, it took five. It took 5 minutes to get through security. Um,
Hey,
and so
did they give you like the all right, you're good, or did you have to go through real security?
I had to go through real security, but
All right.
I was like the only one of like three people in line at the time. So it was like, there was nothing to it. And they were like, whatever, go ahead. Is that a bomb? I was like, no, it's not a bomb, but it could be. And they're like, yeah, whatever. Come on through. And, and so I went through and I realized I had probably 3 hours to kill, including our show. And so there was a bar right in front of me, and I was like, well, I'll just go there. And they had the Celtics Pacers game one on. And so I sat down, and at the time, there's like 5 or 6 of us at the bar, including, what was his name? Justin?
Yeah, Justin and John. Justin was the
Justin.
first guest.
Okay. John wasn't there when I first got there. Justin was. And at the time, Justin was a few seats away. There were 2 or 3 people between Justin and me. And we had some idle chatter. We talked about the game. We were talked about the weather, et cetera, et cetera. Um, and then over the course of the next hour or so, um, people obviously left. They had flights to go to. And he asked, hey, can I come sit by you? I should have, looking back, gone, that's a warning sign. But I was like, yeah, I mean, whatever. What am I going to say? No, you can't move. I mean, you're free to sit where you want to sit. And he moves and he starts telling me his life story about his daughter. And he runs a telecommunications network, biggest one in Alaska. It's all Alaskan. He's telling me all these things about, he has a daughter who just graduated, I think, from University of Washington. I can't remember, but
Yeah.
all this stuff. So we're having a conversation, and he's knocking down vodkas. I mean, knocking them down. I'm just having a couple of beers. I'm good. He's deteriorating. And about the time that we started, the deterioration had begun to escalate at that
Right.
point. He was, he was kind of going down a hill, and all of a sudden the hill took a pretty steep turn. And by the time we got going, my guy was getting louder and louder and louder, as you saw. And I couldn't make him shut up. I'd be like, "Hey, I need to say something." He was gone. And then about that time, John showed up. He was on the same flight I was on to Chicago, and he is sitting to my right, being amused by watching me trying to navigate the show and Justin. And so anyway, Justin, thank God, had an early flight, and he left because I was kind of approaching my like wits end with Justin. I couldn't think straight,
Yeah, those aren't your
and
those are the ones that wear you out a little bit. So I knew that was coming. I
yeah,
was
yeah,
dying because
yeah.
that's what I hope you have 55 of on on whatever Greyhound bus you get on. You're gonna have 55 Justins on the bus sitting right next to
Oh
you.
God, yeah, I'd probably deserve it at this point. But anyway, he left, and then John ended up being. It was like having Josh Hendrickson teleported to the seat next to me.
It really
He was
was.
like, looks like him, acts like him, very calm like him. Um, a big baseball fan, turns out. Josh is a Cubs fan, but um, John's a Cincinnati Reds fan. I found out his grandfather was a big Reds fan. When he was a little boy, he would listen to the Reds games. I mean, dude's fantastic. We enjoyed getting to know him. Have his card. He's going to join the show down the road. Said he'll love to contribute to MPW. He was on his way back to DC this morning. Um, but yeah, so he was great, and to the point that I looked up at one point and I was like, oh man, because he left to go get ready for the flight, and I'm like, I couldn't remember like what time it was and stuff, and so that's when I was like, hey Tyler, I probably need to head down that down the corridor there.
Yeah, that was the other thing. It's like I'm sitting there getting like my brain's just going crazy. What I could ask this guy because I mean because he was willing to share a little bit, more than normal, but putting
He's
him and
retired now.
him and Josh in the same on the same pod would be like my would be we would all get. I think the entire podcast network would gain at least 20 IQ points by putting them together on a pod and just steering the ship and letting them go, like letting them talk. You know what I mean? Like just bouncing
Yeah,
ideas off each other. That's two very extremely when like some people are like, well, some people like to be the smartest guy in the room, There's those people. Well, these two are actually the smartest people in the room. You know,
yeah,
don't not pretending,
and
but yeah.
they're both very calm, and they're both obviously like deep thinkers, and those are the most, to me, those are the fascinating, because sometimes you meet really smart people who they're impressive in their intellect, but they're kind of emotional, and so you're
Yeah.
like, you're more like me than you think, because your emotions get you. These guys, they don't really, emotions don't really get them. I mean, they're just kind of very rational, deep thinking people. So it was fun. That ended up being, I don't know what views and stuff are, but I thought that ended up being the best show that we did from Alaska.
Yeah, that was good. It's good. They always catch up like that. I know that the North Pole Johnny was up to like this. I looked. I don't remember what I looked. I think I looked last night. It was like at 2,700 or something last night.
Yeah,
North
that's
North
great.
Pole Johnny was a hit. But anyway, the all right. So catch us up. We leave you. Podcast over.
Oh, you need a ticker update,
Yeah.
right?
All right. Let's get a
Mask.
ticker update. Here we go. Ready?
Yep.
Mask update.
We are at 87. Now I've
80.
not been out in Chicago much yet. O'Hare had some ticks this morning, but it was very early, and I haven't really been out and about in Chicago. I've been out once, as you know. I went out and got a
Yeah.
espresso just then. I went to so people who have followed MPW Digital for a long time or who have followed me at rebelgrove.com know that this city is a special place to me. I love Chicago. It's the first time I've been back though in 5 years. Um, Carson and I, my son, we came here. Tyler, I would guess we came here 10 times during his childhood. We came for the Cubs convention a couple of times. We came to see the Cubs. We came to see the Cubs play the Rockies. We've seen the Cubs play the Reds, the Braves, a bunch. We've come up here a bunch to see the Cubs. We came up to see the Bulls play the Thunder.
Yeah.
Uh, one year we've gone to Blackhawks games here. It's I suspect when I'm long gone, he will tell his kids about the trips to Chicago. We came to the World Series in
Oh,
2016, came to Game 3. Yeah, that was incredible. But anyway, he always loved going to Italy, and I know Italy's kind of a chain. They've got one in New York and they've got one in San Francisco. But he was as a little boy, he loved Italy. He would go get the gelato, or we'd go get pasta, and he could watch him do the dishes and stuff. And um, anyway, I'd not been to Italy since 2019, but I have lots of memories of it. He loved it. Like getting to go to Italy for him was a treat. And I was exhausted this morning. And so I walked into Italy. It's the first time I've been in there in years, and kind of emotions got me for a minute, like just out of the blue. And I'm like, all right, you need caffeine. And I realized I'd forgotten my ticker. And so I had to come back to get my ticker so that I can count masks over the course of the next 30 some odd hours that I'm here in Chi-town.
well, Neil, I will say this. I don't know what it is, but your connection's like really good. It's coming through great right now, like so much better than it's been since we started. You notice that?
Well, yeah, some people would say that this is the greatest connection, that no connection has ever been greater, that this is a connection that, I don't know. I mean, just, that's what everyone says. Everyone says it, that you can't get a connection like this anywhere. Not in Europe, not in China. You can't get this connection anywhere. This is a connection that is pristine. This is a connection that um,
You okay?
history will history will show that this may be the greatest connection ever. That no connection was ever as good as this one, or will ever be as good as this one. That this is a connection that sets the standard for all connections.
Are you okay? Do you know the espresso?
I'm good. I know I'm perfectly good. This is it's the best connection ever.
Hey, Corey
Everyone's saying it.
Clark. Hey,
Everyone is saying it.
hey, Corey Clark's in the chat. He says, "Did Neil take an edible?"
Yeah, no, I don't know why this is so difficult to understand. This is the greatest connection ever. I mean, everyone is saying it. Even I mean, the only people that aren't saying it are like Lion Joe and uh, Nasty Hillary. They don't say it, but everyone else is saying it. That this is the best connection that you can get.
Okay. Well, what are you trying to tell me?
I'm not trying to tell you anything. I mean,
I feel like there's code in
I
here.
had to pick.
I'm trying to decipher the code.
You know, Tyler, I landed in Chicago, and I knew that I needed a place to stay. And to be honest with you, my fingers were starting to hurt from all the clicking. And I'm like, well, where could I go where maybe I wouldn't be bombarded with the masks?
Okay.
And you gave me a budget, and this was within that budget. And so I'm staying at the Trump International Towers because that's the. I just thought, let's steer into this today. So that's where I am.
You're
Would you like
not.
to see my view? There's my view from the Trump Towers.
I call bullshit.
There's the Royal. I don't know what to tell you. You can believe me or not. Let's see. Can you see that?
Oh my, you have. Oh, this is great. This is great.
Yeah. See, here we go. Here we go. Got some stationery.
They have a
Is that a
senior citizens
pin?
discount or something?
Maybe. I don't. Here's what I can tell you: is I got here at 7 o'clock, sort of anticipating that I would have to just kind of walk the city for a while. And they told me that because of the just they looked at me and said, you know, you voted for us a couple of times, and so we're going to let you in. Go ahead and come in. So I got into the hotel early and
Oh,
got to take a
they
nap.
let you
It's
in.
good.
They let you check in early.
They did. They did. They pulled my voting record and saw that I had voted for them in 2020, and but only once. But still, they let me in. So yeah, they let me come
Just
in
once.
early, and I went just once. Only voted once. Um, did it in person. Didn't even write it in, but I did it in person. And here I am at Trump Towers,
This is
right on
also
the
a great.
river.
This is also a great decision by me not to go on TikTok live. We would for sure like
We'd be
they
going.
may come through the phone and just burn it up. Just delete the app off my phone.
Yeah,
All right, so how did you get to the Trump? What made you pick the Trump Tower? Are you serious? Are you staying at Trump Tower?
I'm totally serious. I just thought it would be fitting for this particular. Uh, Everything's kind of gone my way so far, you know, and I thought, why not just steer into it, you know?
Dude, I'm due some karma at this point in time. Okay, I'm due some karma. You know, I knew sending you out to
I'll probably
Alaska.
get mugged. I'll probably get robbed
Well,
outside
I
in a
don't want
minute. So.
that kind of karma. All right, I don't want that kind of karma. But like, I send you out to Alaska, going knowing that there's only three ways. And I was like, you know what? He'll come through Chicago. I knew that because I know what's coming up. The reason I picked North Pole, Alaska, because I knew you'd pick Chicago, and I know what's coming up. That was kind of part of my plan. I know how hard it's going to be to get back because I blistered the schedules on that stuff. I feel like I've been like, you know what this feels like. I feel like I've been working on a game plan for like months, and then just to go out there and just you look up and it's 35 to nothing at halftime. I'm just getting my fucking ass kicked, and there's nothing I can do about it. Like nothing's working. Like it's one of those. I feel like it's one of those Saturdays that you had this great game
Yeah,
plan. You feel great about it. Everybody's like, "Hey, how do you feel about the game?" I feel great. I think we're going to do great. I think we'll win. And you look up and it's 35 to nothing, and you're like, "Fuck." That's where I'm at right now. You're staying in a freaking fucking Trump hotel. Are you shitting
yeah. It's
me right
basically the
now?
same rate as. No, it was the same rate as like the all the other downtown hotels like Hilton Garden Inn and all that stuff.
Oh, you
I mean,
so you're saying
I
it?
don't, nor do I.
Are you saying that the Trump hotel is inflation proof?
Maybe so. Maybe. I mean, it was about the same rate as all the other hotels.
Oh my gosh, this is unbelievable.
I spent I spent a little time and searched through it. I've never stayed here before. I've stayed at a lot of the hotels nearby. I've been to several of them right across the street from the Royal Sonesta. I had when I ran at the 2015 Chicago Marathon the day before. Laura and I did the riverboat cruise right down here. You can I don't know if you can see the river or not. I'll
Oh
try
yeah,
to
let's give us
make
a
it where you
tour, man. Let's
can.
see what we're looking at.
All right, let's see. Let's see if I can. Let's
Yeah,
see if I can
unplug
do
that.
this.
You can go. You can go unplug it. Let's go.
Yeah. Here we go.
Let's give the fans a show.
All right. So
Oh wow,
this is the riverboat, the river,
it's a hell of a fucking
Chicago
punishment,
River.
boss.
You can see one of the tours right now. We did tour is fun if you ever come to Chicago. Do the riverboat tour, the architecture tour. You see the city in about an hour and a half. They serve beer and Bloody Marys and whatnot on there. So the river
Why not?
goes
Why not champagne?
the river Champagne. The river
Full
goes all
body
the way out,
massage.
feeds into Lake Michigan. You see? Can you see Lake Michigan out there, Tyler?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm just waiting. I mean,
Yeah.
where's the cabana?
There's some of the look. Some of the sailboats are out. It's getting that time of year in Chicago. They enjoy the lake, especially June, July, August. Obviously, it's too cold other times of the year to even think about it. But this time of the year, it's absolutely perfect. If you're ever coming to Chicago, you got to do There's another the architecture tour. It's just fun, guided tour. Like I said, have you a couple of drinks, enjoy it. You can sit out in the sun, you can get in the shade. It's good. I've done the architecture tour, but anyway, we did that in 2015, and then because what you should do the day before you run a marathon is you should just go drink. And so we did. We went to the Royal Sonesta right across the street. We had a few beverages, and I can't remember where we stayed when we stayed there, but we didn't stay. They put us up someplace because I was raising money for St. Jude's. St. Jude's put us up someplace, but I think it was down more towards like Grant Park,
Oh, did you
where I
say
am
you
right
did you
now.
say you donated to charity?
Yes, I have donated to charity before.
Oh,
Yes,
I was just
MPW Digital and Rebel Grove has been. We've done multiple charities. So has Chase during our time together. There's one of the sailboats getting turned around.
Hey, we got a super chat from Web
Beautiful,
Moore. Thank you,
beautiful
Web.
city.
Web shot us a super chat. He said, Tyler, are you willing to uh it says beat, I guess bet on next season. If you lose, go on on a trip. Thoughts? Neal must bring you back a Cubs hat. Yeah, the way this is looking so far, I'm like, my kind of trip though would be like, I don't know where you'd send me. You could send me to like Miami, and I'd be like, all right, I'm flying to Vegas. I'm on my way home to back to Oxford. I'd probably find my way to Vegas. I like to go to Vegas. That's my spot. So I could
I
get with it.
I contemplated Vegas. The problem with Vegas is that from Vegas
It's a
you'd
long
have to
trip
get on a
home.
bus someplace.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and so that was not.
Can you
In many
imagine?
ways, Chicago made
Can
the
you
most
imagine the
sense.
bus trip, the Greyhound trip out of Las Vegas to wherever? Can you imagine that? That's got to be
No,
everybody lost all their
my
money.
God, no, that'd be no, not good. Let's see if y'all want any more views of the city from here.
Let's see. Hey, let's see the room. What we got room wise? See what you got.
Oh, just pretty standard room. This got a TV. Uh,
Is that the greatest TV ever?
it's the greatest TV ever. That's what everyone says. They got a mini bar. I'm gonna try to avoid the mini bar. Probably Eric doesn't want to pay for a mini bar. Uh,
Yeah,
got that. But
it's probably not on the budget.
if I wanted a bottle of wine, I could have a bottle of Trump wine. Everybody says some people say it's the greatest wine ever. Uh, some people don't, but some people do.
I heard
Uh,
that. I heard that it was the greatest wine ever
yep,
produced
yep.
from the
So
greatest grapes
got
that have ever been grown.
got my Cubs hat ready for tonight. Packed my Cubs hat just in case. Turned out to be a good thing.
Unbelievable, man.
I did
Unbelievable.
lose my Mississippi hat. I left it on the plane. By the way, I didn't mean to. I'm kind of bummed about that. I realized it later that when I
Hey,
went
did
to
you
sleep, I stuck it in the little thing.
did you leave a note inside the hat that told everybody who you were and that you covered Ole Miss for a living in case they found it?
I did not. I guess I should have because if I had, maybe I'd get it back. But no, I did not. So
You should
that
have.
hat's that hat belongs to the ages now. It belongs to someone else. May he or she wear it with the pride that I once did. I will have to go. I'll go replace. I'll replace the hat. I did go. We didn't get a chance to talk about this yesterday. I went to Hoodoo Brewing Company in Fairbanks.
Why not?
Yeah, I went yesterday. It was really nice. They had like a pizza company, robot pizza company, had set up, and they were making like made to order pizzas for people. They were outside on this really pretty outside deck. So if you ever go to Fairbanks, I recommend Hoodoo Brewing Company. They were really nice. Had a nice conversation with one of the owners, and it was fun.
Do you know how good? Do you know
Shout
how
out to
good a
Fairbanks.
pizza and beer sounds right now?
Yeah, well, it's a possibility for your boy here in the next couple hours too. So
All right,
I got to
so
figure out
hey,
what I'm gonna do for lunch.
we actually had a text in. It was so we had a text in. I won't reveal the source here. We have a text in for should be your to make this a punishment instead of a vacation. So we had two options here. See if you will go for any one of these. First one was First punishment was this was for flying first class, by the way. This was your punishment for flying first class.
Again, again, no,
Is
I, I don't,
I'm just
I didn't
reading.
do anything wrong.
I'm just reading.
Yeah,
But punishment would be that you have to introduce yourself to everyone as Scoops. If anyone asks your name, you have to introduce yourself as Scoops. Scoops
no,
McCready. All right. And this one, I think I can
no.
get you to do the second one. I know you would like
Okay.
do that as a gimmick like one time, but you wouldn't follow through with that one. I know you. All right.
Yeah.
I think I can get you to do
Yes.
this one. Okay. And Neal, this goes under the thread, the big umbrella of do it for the show, Neal. Okay. So just put your
Okay.
do it for
All
the
right.
show hat on because we do all kinds of stupid shit for the show. So hey, for the show, for the
We
brand.
do. Okay.
Tonight at the ball game, you're going to the Cubs Braves game. You have to
Yep.
drink one beer an inning.
Ooh,
Do it for the show, Neal. Do it for the show. Do
that's
it for the show. Do it for the show. Do
that's
it
a
for the
lot.
show.
That's a lot of beers. And then you want me to do a live show later. You want me to be able to
Absolutely.
get
That's what
back
we're talking
safely.
about.
Yeah. That's
Absolutely.
that's gonna be a challenge, my man. I mean,
Let's see. Let's do a
I'll
quick
I'll
calculation.
I'll try, but that is a lot of beer.
All right. How about this? What about this? All right. Would you rather do that or one beer for every run scored in the game?
By both teams?
No, yeah, up to 9. So if it's like 4-3, you only drink 7. Just not in a
I
game. Let's
mean,
go.
yeah. I've seen the Braves offense.
Hey, it was four to
Let me
three
think
last
about
night. They
that.
lost.
Your boy's sleep score was a 38. I've not eaten anything since like yesterday. I made the mistake sitting at the bar last night, going maybe I need to eat something, and I ate some pretzels, which was not smart. It was a mistake. Me. And so I haven't had anything since. So I'll do my best. I'll do my best to be a good sport and play along. I can't promise you that I'm going to consume 9 beers at Wrigley Field.
That would be so. Just for if we did ounces, if we said 12 ounces is one. So if you get a 16-ounce beer, because I'm sure they're not 12-ounce beers, I'm sure they're bigger. That would be
Yeah,
6.75 pints.
yeah, that's a lot. That
Hey,
that's a lot.
our boy Johnny did it,
I
and
mean,
he
I've
kept,
done it. Yeah, he did.
and he looked just fine for the
I mean,
show.
yeah, I mean, I've done it before too. But yeah, no, that's probably. But I'll keep you guys updated on that. I will.
All right, here's a fair one.
I'll send
Hardman,
some
thank you,
videos
Hardman.
from.
Hey, here's a fair one. Hardman said they cut off in the 7th inning. So let's say 7 beers in
Yeah,
7 innings.
I mean it's possible.
Hey, you can do that.
We'll see. Yeah, maybe.
I mean, shit, I drank a half a case in a freaking live stream last week with whatever we did
So
that.
if I have if I have one or two before, does that count?
Yeah, let's total them up. We'll do a total 9 beers
Okay.
before the end of the ball game.
I thought we were 7 beers.
No, no. If you're going all day, we got to go
Uh,
9.
all right. If we go all day, well then I might. Okay. I'll try to have 9 beers by the end of the game tonight, starting with when we finish this show and I go get some lunch.
All right, here's what we got to do because this is trending on TikTok, and so Cole can make a TikTok of this, and it'll go viral. Look,
Oh
this
my
is
god.
it's a trending thing. Look, it's the same thing. Look, all you got to do is you go. I'm Neal, and this is me before my first drink, and then you get your second beer, and you go, this is me on my second beer, and then you do that every
Oh
time you
god.
start the beers. You just take a 5-second video, and then send them to Cole. He can put them in on TikTok. And then it'll be like, "Hello,
Okay.
I'm Neal. This is my ninth beer." And then we'll get
Oh
on
my
to
god.
McCready and Siskey after dark. What do you
You're
think?
crazy. All right. I'll do
Let's
my
go.
best.
Hey,
I'll
let's
do my
go.
best.
Hey,
If I get to a point where that's obviously not a good idea, I'm gonna let discretion be the better part of valor.
Hey, Kyle Wilson, thanks for the super chat. He says you'll have to call Chase tonight during the live stream. I legitly told Chase I was going to do it, and he was like, "Dude, I told him I was going to call other night. He's like, "Dude, don't, I won't answer. Don't do it." So I
Yeah,
will
he
make
was,
the I
and
will make the yeah, he had a late
he
night
had a
last
late
night.
night last night. Yeah, so he probably be asleep.
I will make the offer to him again. I imagine when I text him this, I fully expect him not to respond. That would be my expectation. I will get ghosted by Chase on the request to come on the show tonight. Romulus, thank you so much for the super chat. Buying you a beer, Neal. Thank you so much. So, all right. I feel like I had one more thing I was going to ask you or tell you. I don't even remember what it was. So we're going to the Braves game tonight. We're not going to the Cubs game. We're calling it the Braves game.
Okay.
Going to the Braves game tonight. Any idea? Because I know you've looked. Any idea of what your escape plan from Chicago is going to be, or what you're looking at, or
Yeah.
how we getting
Yeah.
home? What are we doing?
I'm taking the train tomorrow evening out of Chicago, out of Union
Okay.
Station
What time?
to I don't remember. It's like 8 o'clock, something like that. Don't I'll have to look it up. I have an exact time written down, but I don't have it in front of me.
Okay,
So
eight-ish.
I get to Memphis. I get to Memphis like 6:30 ish on Friday morning, and then maybe the layover that I'm most terrified of is the one in Memphis. I've got a layover in Memphis before I can catch the Greyhound to Tupelo from Memphis.
So
So I think I
you're going to
leave
take the
Memphis like
train from you're going to take the train from Chicago all the way to Memphis,
yes,
and then you're going to bus from
and
Memphis
then
to Tupelo.
that's correct.
The plan has been made. What time do you get back?
I think you're picking me up around it's around 1 or 2 on Friday afternoon.
One or two. I'm going to look this schedule up. All right, so
I've got it.
Memphis.
I've got it. I've got it somewhere. I
Okay,
don't have it in a file right in front of me.
we'll have a welcoming party for you at Tupelo. We'll get it. We'll get all any listener that wants to join. We'll be at the Greyhound bus stop, and
I think it's a
everybody
convenience
has to
store. I
come
think
give
it's
you a
called Brother.
what is it called?
I think it's called Brothers.
Brothers. It's not a bus
That's
station.
where like I think it's no. I think it's like a drop off at a. It's like a convenience store.
Dude, we're gonna have a McCready and Siskey welcoming party. Anybody that wants to join, I'll have the time when we come back from McCready and Siskey after dark. I'm gonna have a time that anybody wants to join us. We're all going to Brothers. We're gonna meet you there. And here's the rule. Here's what's gonna finish it. Is every person is gonna give you a hug when you come off the bus. We're gonna give you a hug.
Did it look as did the hug from Justin look as awkward as it felt?
Yes, I know you. I
Yeah.
just know that irks your skin. So by
Oh
God,
God. Are
if
you a hugger?
I'm not opposed to it.
You
No.
kind of had to be as a football coach. You kind
Yeah,
of
you
had to
did the
be right
whole
because you
like,
always
what's
had to hug. You had to hug, and you had to hug moms
Oh yeah,
and hug
I'm not opposed
dads.
to it.
I watched that.
I'm not opposed to it. I'm a hugger, man.
It's not that
Bring
I'm.
it in.
It's not that. Yeah,
Bring it
it's
in.
not that I'm not a quote hugger end quote. I just like I don't like walk around hugging strangers. I'm not a. I'm a. I'm a personal space guy. You know, I respect people's. I don't like close talkers, for example. Like if, you know the guy that gets up in your face to talk to you.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? We're perfectly fine 3 feet away. Why do you feel the need to get closer? And so, yeah, when he was like, let me hug you, I was like,
Hey,
no. And then
so
he did.
all right, I'm going to reveal one of my secrets. So if you're a young coach that's recruiting, I'm going to give you one of my secrets right here, okay? So when you're out on the road recruiting, particularly in the spring's the one that this always happened. Is this the first time you go out, with a new class, and you'll go in there and everybody wants to talk your face off. Well, you got to hold a tight schedule, to keep going. So if a dude was like talking my face off and I couldn't get out of there, I would get all up in their personal space and talk really close to them
Oh,
in order for them to say, "All right, man, appreciate you. You have a good day." That was my way. If we were running late, I would get up on them and talk to them like way up in their personal space. So they go like, "Okay, man,
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming." And I was like, "All right, see you." So that was an escape. That was an escape tool I used for
Oh,
many years. It's a good little trick for
that
you
is
young bucks on the road. All right, so yeah, that's good. Well, now
that's
so
great.
that's a fucking long ass train ride, man. What's that? 12
Yeah,
hours?
and yeah, it's like 10 and a half hours, I think. It's long. Um, my hope is that I can sleep some of it.
I wonder if
So
we can
we'll
do. I
see.
wonder if we will be doing. Will we be doing after dark on the train?
I would think so. I mean, they'll have Wi-Fi. I've done Amtrak before. Like I've taken Amtrak from, like Washington to Baltimore to Washington and back. I've done Amtrak. I've done Amtrak a couple of times. They always had Wi-Fi.
And then we have to do it. We just have to give. I don't know what time your bus ride is. We got to do it. We may have to do it. I don't know how we'll do that because I'll be driving too. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out the finale on that. I guess we got time to do that. We got nothing but time, Neil. You have nothing but time. So
Nothing but I
nothing
got
but
lots of
time.
time.
All right. So the plan is what we'll do is we'll go ahead and end this one here. Second, we got shit. We got 141 in here right now. So we'll end this one. And then here in a second. And then our plan is after. Well, I don't know where you'll be, but after we got to be around people just in case we can find another Johnny and another Johnny and another Justin. So uh, whether it's the hotel
Do you want
bar
me to try
or
to find you want me to try to find like a restaurant or something that has a bar?
somewhere that's not. But don't.
All
But
right.
if it's make sure it's got a good you got good bars on your phone.
Okay. All right. I'll do a little research on that this afternoon where I could go. I'll
And
probably take
then
the train back into the city and find a place.
and then so what we'll do is we'll do after dark. So if you're watching the Braves and Cubs game, if you're watching that, so it'll be after the Cubs game. Will they play what at 6:40 tonight? If I saw that right.
Yeah, 6:40.
Yeah, 6:40. And let's see what pitching matchup we got, man. What we got here?
It's Max Fried versus Justin Steele, Mississippi boy
Ooh,
Justin Steele.
Max Fried's fixing to shove. Fixing to shove. He's
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 good. He's awfully
he's
good.
yeah, he's a good one.
Steele's kind of coming back still. He got hurt opening day, and I guess this is like his third or fourth start since he
This
came
may be
back
a
from the
quick.
hamstring.
This may be a quick game too, because there's two good pitchers. Maybe a quick
Yeah.
game. So after the game is tonight, y'all can keep follow along whenever that is. Neil will get somewhere, give me a heads up, and then we'll just crank it up and go. So, um, but we'll get that handled this afternoon. But want to thank everybody from Comer Heating. Hang on, time out, Neil. I almost ended this show. We got some life advice. While I get this up, would you like to tell me about Cole Walters?
Oh, yeah. Let me get that pulled up here. Held tight. Let's see. Life advice is presented by Cole Walters, State Farm Insurance. Cole Walters is licensed in auto, home, life, health, business, and pet insurance for the whole state of Georgia. Contact Cole at 706 525 7850. You can also find him online at colewaltersinsurance.com.
All right, Neil. This is a good one. Okay. This is
Okay.
maybe
All
one
right.
of the most difficult ones to answer since we've been doing this. Life advice question. What do you do when you just forgot your 25th wedding anniversary? How much money do I have to
Ooh.
spend on my wife now?
Ooh. Ooh. Number one, like, how? But okay. It's too late for that.
Hey,
It's
it's
too late for
hey,
Monday morning quarterback.
hey, we're
It's too
moving
late. It's
forward,
too late.
Neil. We're moving
Yeah,
forward.
yeah. I mean,
Blinders
that's a
on. We're moving
judgment that
forward.
that's a judgment that you'll have to answer to at another time. All right, so we're moving forward. All right, we've made the mistake. What a mistake! Oh my God! I mean, this is fumbling the ball at the 1 yard line. Um,
He knows. His
yeah, he
follow
knows.
up.
I
I think
mean,
his follow up
this
was.
is
Uh, Let me see if I can make sure I can read this. Oh, he goes, 25 years today. I knew last night she was acting a little funny, not bad, just different. And this morning I got up. She was already dressed out doing stuff, and she comes in. She said, "Happy anniversary." Not good, not good when your first response is, "Do what?"
Oh, oh, oh God.
I'll tell you who
That's
it
you
is.
fumbled the
I'll tell
ball.
you. You know who this is. I'll tell you who it is after we get done.
That's you fumbled the ball. You caught a break. They called a defensive pass interference on the play, and then you run the same play, and the quarterback reaches out and gets it knocked out. Wow. Okay. All right. Too late. The ball's been turned over.
Hey, blinders.
Um,
Got to move
it's
forward.
it's it's their ball. Forget the coach is going. What happened? And it's like we can't talk about it right now. Okay. All right. We got to figure this out right now.
Blinders.
Ooh, that's going to be a bad film. Going to be a bad film session. But anyway, film can wait. Right now, we were trying to solve the game. All right. My first thing is you own it.
Yep.
You apologize. You don't make excuses. You say it's really unforgivable and you feel sick about it. Um, and then I think you have to plan something special now. You got to go do something to make amends. And you need to do this. This needs to be in her wheelhouse. 100%, whatever her wheelhouse is, and you should know after 25 years,
Yes, you should know.
you need to you should drive this bus is in her lane. Okay, it's not. There's no side thing for something for you. No. This is 100% her. If there's a play she's wanted to go see, if there's a place she's wanted to go see, if whatever, now's the time. Now's the time. You need to make that happen. On the restaurant that she wants to go to, you need to do some research, come up with one that's perfect. Call ahead. Tell them, hey, this is our 25th anniversary dinner. Please do something special. Yeah, I mean, her feelings are hurt. You've got to do something to soothe the hurt feelings. And yeah, but own it. No excuses. Don't say, "Hey, I was busy at work." No. Don't just own it.
No, they don't want to hear that.
Own it. Own it. I ran a bad play. We fumbled. It was a mistake. I feel terrible about it. I'm sorry. You deserve better. Let me show you how much you mean to me. Here we go.
So it
And
wasn't.
she'll get over it because look. Deep down, women know that men don't think the way they think. They don't like to admit it, but they know that. I know this is earth shattering. Thank God we're not on TikTok. Men and women are different. I didn't say one's better than the other. In fact, I know. Hold up. In
You're
fact,
in the
if you made
wrong
me say
city
who's
for that,
better,
boss.
I'd say women, but we don't think exactly the same. We don't prioritize in the same ways. There's a difference. You screwed it up. She would never have screwed it up, and there's nothing you can do about it now, right? She would never have forgotten your 25th wedding anniversary. Never.
So we talked about. I guess I've done not the anniversary, but I forgot a birthday. I guess that was like 2012. I guess my first year I was at Ole Miss with Freeze that first summer, because and I won't ever forget. One, you'll never. One, the good news is you'll never forget it again. Um, we had football camp. It was like, and it was like the first one we had. I was by myself. It was crazy. It was the real big camp. Like we had everybody there. That's when we got Evan Ingram offered and all that stuff. I mean, it was a big
Yeah,
camp.
yeah,
And
yeah.
like you would probably actually
You
remember
had a
the
lot
camp.
going on.
Yeah, we had a lot
Yeah,
going
I
on,
probably
big
do.
day. And so anyway, long story short, when I got home, I always would, anytime, and if you're a coach, you understand this. Probably normal people don't understand this. When you leave, everybody's asleep, and if it's usually during the season, you get to a stopping point during the season. It's usually after practice when you're eating dinner or whatever. You always call home and basically say good night, what's going on today. You try to catch up for the 5 or 10 minutes you have, and then how are the kids, and then because when you get home they're going to be asleep too. So coaches understand that. Probably people don't think that's crazy, but it's what happens. So when I did that, when I got settled down, it was about 9 o'clock, and I probably had 9 or 9:30 at night, and I probably had about another 3 hours of work to do, 3 or 4. And I was like, what'd you do? How was your day? She's like, oh, I went to dinner. I think she went. I remember she went with like Stacy Batoon, Jill Free. She says, yeah, I went to dinner with some of the wives, Stacy Batoon, Jill Freeze. I went with Ashley Luke, went with those the girls, and we went and had dinner. I was like, oh, that's nice. Where'd y'all go? And she's like, oh, we went to St. Leo and all this. I'm thinking like, man, that's nice. That's a good good day and all that. How are the kids? Good. And then we finish up like we have this conversation for like 5 or 10 minutes, and then she goes, "How was your day?" I was like, "Oh, it's just how guys do. I was just crazy busy. It's nuts. I still got a couple hours left." And she goes, "Anything else?" And I was like, "No, I think that's it."
Oh,
And she
oh,
goes,
oh, Tyler,
and then
Tyler,
she
Tyler, Tyler.
she
On the moment that she goes, anything else? At that moment, you have to know at that moment that that's a trick question.
it was
You
I,
have
I
to know at that
I was
moment
in a weak
that she's
moment,
saying
Neil.
there is something. Yeah, yeah.
I was in a weak moment, man.
This is
I was
what
tired. It got me.
I get it. No, I get it. I understand. It's just in that for younger guys coming behind us, right?
Yeah,
When
I,
she
I know
says,
now.
it's like if she says when you say, "Hey, how are you?" and she goes, "I'm fine." That means she is not fine.
No, if it
Okay,
fine is bad.
we, people go, well, how do I know? Because if she tells you she's fine, she's not. So understand right away you should be on guard. And then anytime she says anything else, that means there is something else. Rack your brain in that moment, stop, focus, lock in, and think, what have I forgotten? Because the truth is, your wife could forget your birthday, you'd be fine. Whatever. Who cares? Your wife could forget an anniversary.
You know why it doesn't matter, Neil?
Who cares?
Do you know why it doesn't matter? Because
Why?
I'm a three-time world champ, baby.
3 times. I mean, but it's true. But you got to know when something like that pops up, lock in right then. Lock in.
Yep.
Focus. You have prepared for this. Now's the time. This is
Now's the
not a
time.
drill. Think, think, and then go do it quickly. Birthday, anniversary,
Yeah.
a
But
kid's
she hit me
birthday.
with a anything else, and I was like, no. She goes, happy birthday to me. And I was like, I just melted. So
Oh, oh,
I have paid for that dearly. I paid for it very dearly around it. It's gotten better as time goes on. But my advice would be like I'm going to expound on what Neil said. Agree with everything Neil said. Make it special. Do all that stuff. You'll never forget again. But here's the other thing: is like it's going to come up later on in various points in time. Over, I mean, it still comes up in our relationship from time to time about if you say like you would say, "Hey, I forgot that. My bad." And she goes, "Just like you forgot my birthday." And so you're gonna get those
oh,
little jabs from time to time, and you know what? You can't even respond. So when the jabs come up, you go. You just have
take
to
them,
go. You're right.
take them.
Yep, my bad. You got to
You
just
have to
take them.
learn like
Mm,
that jab's
mm,
coming.
mm,
Just kind of back up.
mm.
Yeah. Take the
Yeah,
jab. You're gonna
you
get
got to get
hit,
you
but
got
if
to
you'll
turtle up. Like my man Sean Strickland
yeah,
does. You got to turtle
and
up.
kind of
You just got to take them.
learn how to absorb the blow, right? Learn how to take it. If you take it steering in, it's going to hurt worse than if you're
Yep.
kind of backing away and takes away. Yep, that's all you can do.
This is kind of
That's all
like,
you can
hey,
do. You'll pay.
it,
You will pay for this for the rest of your life.
you know,
There's no
since we
getting
got
past it.
since we got a
No.
lot of fans on here that are Ole Miss fans, it's kind of like Ole Miss baseball fans right now. Sometimes you just got to take a
Oh
big old
God,
bite
here
of
we
that
go.
shit sandwich and like it. I couldn't help myself. I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Hey, before we go,
I'm
I'm getting all kinds
I'm
of texts
staying
over
out of
here. By the
this.
way,
I have. I'm on record with my stance on that whole deal. I think it's complicated and uh, there's just a lot there. I mean, if I were in charge, just in a vacuum, I would make a change. But it's not a vacuum. It's not there, and so the I think the decision is going to be made to give him another year, and I think it's mostly a financial decision that's based on just the uncertainty of college athletics today, and I 100% understand why fans don't like talking about that. It's not a fun topic, but if you're running an athletics department today, it's a conversation you have to have, and it's something that's in the back of your mind on big decisions, which is there's a lot of unknowns right now that could come up and bite you pretty hard. Everybody goes bite you in the ass. No, not bite you in the ass. More like bite you in the like square in the eye,
Let's
where it's
bite you
going
in
to
the
hurt.
balls. Hey, all right,
Yeah, it's
I got.
a little something more painful than getting bit in the ass. I mean, as someone who's a dog attacked me once and bit me in the ass, it
I
didn't hurt
thought you were
nearly.
about to tell me that a dog bit you in the balls before. I thought that's where you were going with that.
No, no. But my point is that I can only imagine that having been bit in the butt by a dog, I can only imagine how much it would hurt if it bit me in the a different spot. I can't
Okay.
imagine.
All right.
So
Hey, I got a
there's
couple texts
yeah.
coming in. He said I could say who it was. So, one of my all-time favorites. I'm talking about any position I've ever coached. One of my all-time favorite players in the history of my career. I love him. He is my kind of guy. As tough as they get. Bo Wallace sent me a text and said, "Tell Neal I didn't appreciate that last comment, fumbling the ball at the 1 yard line."
I'm sorry, Bo. I wasn't even thinking of you at the time.
I love Bo. I
You made
love the
up for
kid.
it. Bo made up for it though. Bo finished. Bo came back from that fumble with a big final year, and he beat Mississippi State that last time.
He's one of my
That's
all-time
what you got to,
favorites.
right? That's what you got to do. There's nothing you can do to get the fumble back. All you can do is next.
Bo was one of those guys, and he's probably not telling anything he doesn't know. Bo was one of those guys that once when he was just as a coach, you just love to coach dudes like that. I mean, tough. I mean,
Oh,
tough.
sure.
I mean, dude has he's
One of my
zero.
favorite. One of my favorite people.
He's 0.0% soft. I will tell you that. And like
One
you
hundred
and
percent.
competitive as hell. Like I just my kind of guy. I would I would go to war with him as a quarterback any day of the week. Love that guy. He's a stud. So anyway, appreciate
Um,
you. And then we got
I
one
know
more.
this doesn't mean
Go
this
ahead.
doesn't mean a lot to people. I get it. You're not in if you're not in media, it doesn't mean anything to you. But look, there's a lot of pricks in media, no question. There can be a lot of pricks in football too. You know, I mean that's the truth. And sometimes when
Fair.
we have to interact, sometimes it gets a little squeamish. I've told the story before, but Bo got screwed by some media one big game week, and it would have been really tempting to take it out on everyone, and he didn't. He didn't. He did not take it out on
I
those of
bet he
us
took it
who
out on
had
that one
not
though.
committed. He I probably didn't like that one, but he didn't. He didn't take it out on us. He was a stand up guy. I mean, win or lose, uh, whether it was the biggest win or the aforementioned really painful loss. Um, he was always he always came and um, met with the media. And if you're a quarterback, that's part of your job. It just is. Part of your job is to be the face of the team, the face of the franchise, good and bad. It's easy to do it when you're winning. It's hard to do it when you're losing, and when you get bullshit questions and stuff. It's easy to probably I'm sure want to, and you can't because you're the face of the franchise. And he Bo was a pro's pro, big time. And when it came to dealing with media and those of us who care about the job and who want always wanted. I've told you this. I didn't really. People are like, do you want people to like you when you cover them? I'm like, well, I mean, it's fine if they do. I want them. The best compliment you can give me is that I was fair. I was fair.
Mhm.
And I think Bo would tell you that I was fair. And now by the end, I really liked Bo and I was cheering for him. And um, I was happy to see. I never have a problem with the cheering part. Sometimes I have a problem if I get to know someone a lot by the end. I want them to win because I like them and I want
Yeah.
good things for them. And then you're kind of getting into that gray area of, well, I'm kind of cheering. I don't need to be cheering because I can't get emotional. It's my job to not be emotional, and I want them to do well. So it gets complicated. But anyway, Bo was first rate.
He's a stud. All right, the other one we got. I don't want to. I didn't ask him if I could use his name. He said you got to interview somebody with a mask on at some point.
Just randomly.
Yeah, just say, it's the new thing now. Like, I wouldn't put yourself in like a bad situation on the street with somebody that looks dangerous, but you just say, "Hey, I'm doing an interview for our show. Would you like to can I?" But you have to say this because those people will sue your
Oh,
ass. Say, do I have permission to record you and do a short interview? That's all you got to say. If they say
yeah,
yes, now make sure you send that in the video too because they'll somebody wearing a mask,
yeah,
they may say, "Hey, I
yeah,
want a portion of
yeah.
those TikTok I want a portion of that TikTok check there, Mr. McCready. We're gonna call this we're changing the name of this bad boy. It's MMPW. It's McCready Mask and Parliament Right. It's not we're gonna add that. We're gonna add another M to it. It's PW. Welcome to the PW Digital Network. That's what we're
Okay.
gonna do.
Yeah, we'll see about that one. I can't. I make no promises.
All right. I tried. The guy that asked, I tried. So, all right, we'll wrap it up there. Also, want to thank, like I
All
said,
right.
thank Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning. Eric's been great, awesome. And while I'm thinking about it, my man Bob, I had a message from Bob. Oh, Bob was giving me shit this morning, had me laughing up because you had an opportunity to give me shit last night and you didn't. Like I said when we were watching it had the Ole Miss Mississippi State game, and I was like, oh, they got 3 outs to win. You're going to give the broadcaster jinx. I said, I don't believe in jinx, whatever, because you walk off. So Bob was wearing me out about that, but I'll always thank Bob and the guys at Monster and Rain and what they do for our show. It's awesome. It's been such a great partnership, and Bob's become a great friend, and I know he's traveling and getting work done and
Big
working
time.
on all that stuff. So can't wait to. I can't. We had a blast with Bob at the Masters and all that stuff, but anyway, long story short, we will come back to you, McCready and Siskey After Dark Part Trey, tonight from Chicago somewhere after Neal. Don't forget to record your beers. Okay, you guys say
Okay.
this is Neal McCready holding your first drink. This is my first beer. Then you turn it off, turn it back on. This is Neal. This or you don't have to say Neal. You just say this is me before my second beer, me before my third beer. That's all you got to do over and
So
over again.
so stupid. Okay.
This is great. Hey, look, ask Campbell if this won't go viral. This is your viral moment. Do it for TikTok. Do it for the show,
Great.
Neal. Let's go.
Okay.
Remember
All right. All
TikTok
right.
paying you, man. Let's go. You're a TikTok
Yeah.
employee.
Yeah.
Hey, you're technically an employee from China. You're technically a Chinese employee. So right after you tell everybody that you cover Ole Miss, tell them that you work for the Chinese government too. And you're staying in Trump
Okay. I
Tower.
will. It's kind of confusing.
Kind of
All
confusing.
right.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.